You ready? Yeah, you got me running, Shake it, shake it, shake it, say that. Raise your hands up, raise them out.
All right. Hi, everyone, and welcome back to another episode of the Daily Currency Call, thanks to Forex Trading Asia. So in this episode, guys, this is the Daily Currency Call. It is episode 368 and the 3rd of September. Now, if it is a first time here, a big welcome from the team, and we'll just do a quick intro. So this currency call is from Monday to Friday, and the currencies we analyze are as follows. So on Monday, it's the Aussie and Kiwi pairs. Tuesday, the Euro pairs. Wednesday, the pound pairs. Thursday, yen and gold. And Friday, today, we have the CAD pairs, as well as cryptocurrencies, specifically Ethereum and Bitcoin as well. So this is the currency call where you'll get market economic updates, key support and resistance levels as well, trade ideas, and more. This currency call is going to be very beneficial to both the long-term and short-term traders. And here we'll go through what could potentially move prices, possible trade ideas, and we'll also highlight the potential targets and the risks as well. A disclaimer as well here, any information shared during this session is not intended to be a trade recommendation. It is solely just the opinion and views of the speaker. So please remember to do your own analysis prior to entering any trades as well. And again, guys, feel free to ask questions as well. They will be definitely addressed as soon as they're pretty much seen as well. And we invite that as well. So guys, I hope everyone's had a good trading week. It's been pretty interesting as well. So just to start off with here today, guys, obviously we do have the non-farm payrolls out this evening, which is a significant event as well. And again, if you haven't checked out the YouTube channel, I'll send some links in the chat as well. But Kim Hong is going to go through a preview of the non-farm payrolls for everyone and what could potentially happen as well. So over to you, Kim Hong, for your NFP thoughts.
All right, thank you, Scott. Happy Non-Farm Friday, everyone. Okay, now the US jobs report, aka non-farm payroll report, okay, will be released today, later on at 20:30 GMT +8. Okay, now personally, I feel that this is a make or break jobs report. All right, because this report will actually impact impact on whether the Federal Reserve will be making a QE tapering announcement, okay, during their monetary policy meeting this month on the 23rd. Okay, so yeah, expect movements to be made during the market, okay, in the market during the release of the data. Okay, so the market expectation is for 720,000 jobs to be added in August. Okay, I feel that this is a strong figure. Okay, no doubt this is lower than the previous figure of 943,000. Okay, but still, 720, anything above like 600, personally, I feel is a strong figure. Okay, strong figure meaning that the jobs market is making significant progress towards the Federal Reserve mandate of maximum employment. Okay, substantial improvements. Okay, right. So 720K is the forecast. However, okay, there is one major concern that that the jobs report is facing. Okay, and that is COVID. Okay, so throughout August, the number of COVID cases in the United States has been rising, okay, throughout August. And at the moment, it's still rising, even like 3 days into the new month, September, it's still rising, okay? So this whole rising of cases in the US may actually soften the jobs figure, okay? So 720 is the expected figure. If let's say the market were to receive something like anything lower than 600, okay, yeah, this may not be a very good report, okay, in terms of strengthening the Federal Reserve's conviction okay, to announce a QE tapering in September. All right. So if it turns out to be, worse than 600 or even worse than expected, the 720,000 expected jobs, okay, then what the Fed may consider doing is to adopt a wait and see approach for another 2 months, okay? Because after the September's meeting, the next meeting will be on November and then December, okay? So that means they won't be meeting in October. So that will actually give the Fed more time, okay, to see if the jobs market in the US is, recovering strong enough, okay, making significant progress towards the Fed's goal, okay. The November's meeting will give the Fed another 2 months, which means 2 more jobs report, okay. The jobs figure for September and October, okay, to determine if a tapering is warranted. All right. So I would say expect markets to move tonight. Okay, this is definitely going to be an eventful figure, I would say, data release. Okay. If we were to see a stronger figure than 720,000 jobs, okay, then I think this is a pretty clear path that we are likely going to see that S&P 500, the major indices, Nasdaq, S&P 500 and Dow Jones Industrial Average to rise. That's for sure. Very, very, very high chance that we are going to see such a movement. Okay, if this jobs report release, were to be higher, exceeding the market's expectation of 720,000 jobs. Okay, so with that, I would definitely be paying attention to the jobs figure tonight. Okay, so Traders Club members, if you're in there, we can just chat before and probably after the jobs report. Then maybe I'll do a quick analysis of like what went down and things like that, and then just share it with you guys in the Traders Club. Okay, if that's the case, then okay. With that, I will be the next meeting will be on Monday, right? So I will be breaking down completely on what happened during the jobs report and everything during next Monday's call. Okay. Do I have any other things to cover? Let me check. Not at the moment. Yeah. So actually, if you guys out there, if you guys have any like trades open right now, especially the dollar pairs, okay, or yen pairs, you might want to supervise it closely. Okay. You may be taking a risk right now because the jobs report may actually go both ways in this particular case, because of Delta variant and things like that, right? So just pay attention to your current trades that you're holding right now. Okay. With that, I'll hand it back to Scott.
All right, thank you so much for that, Gim, as well. And also, just to mention it in the chat, guys, there is a link for the YouTube channel as well that's been recently updated with playlists as well, just for ease of access. So everything is there, very accessible. And I also shared, just for people who aren't familiar with non-farm payrolls, there's a video that's up on the YouTube channel explaining the significance and what NFP is all about as well. So in regards to NFP, it's obviously in the US. So I'll do the US dollar index analysis now. So I'll just get the charts up thanks to Sam Trade. And I do have Ethereum up, which is not talked about quite yet, but it is looking very interesting. Now, the US dollar, now Gim Hong did mention the COVID situation as well. So in the morning, the main routine, I like to just go through what's happened overnight and, just to see, what is going on in regards to economic news as well and updates. And I did notice the COVID situation as well. So I've actually seen it's 161,000 COVID cases and 1,296 deaths as well in the US that has happened recently. So it's definitely, now the question is, has it been affecting things enough to affect NFP? And the situation is that it just creates uncertainty. So as traders, we're looking to play the probabilities. And the fact is that from that perspective, you've got to sort of weigh that all up and, you can have an aggressive thesis. And frankly, what we are seeing is that the US dollar is coming down to a support level, but the simple fact is that you'd really, if you are playing this level, you just really want to wait to see what comes about with tonight as well. It would be a little reckless just to hop in now. You want to see what it does. And obviously there's a lot of momentum we've discussed with, what could potentially push the US dollar higher. And, we've gone over in detail about the NFP, but, planning ahead is very critical. And when you start adding things up, it's very difficult to suggest that we'll see a huge beat on expectations. It was interesting, and I'll just quickly bring this up as well, just with the economic calendar, thanks to Forex Trading Asia. So something that I did find interesting was the initial jobless claims was, a little better than expected. But I mean, like we've mentioned before, this is a weekly figure, so it doesn't necessarily capture the significance. And, the NFP that's out tonight, don't read too much into the initial jobless claims. So, and last night, what we did see was the US equity markets nudged a little bit higher again. So, people are very much risk on, which means that, the US dollar typically will be sold off. So as it approaches this level, and I'll just quickly go back to the chart here, it just offers some interesting opportunities. And from an index point of view, a trade today, frankly, I see it just hovering around here. And I've talked about this before, waiting on the daily candle to close. And then from that point of view, next week, it's a fresh week. We get a little bit more clarity. We've got a whole month now after the NFP to say, look, okay, it's not that great. Maybe things aren't, as good as expected in regards to the economy returning to normal in the US. So no direct trade idea right now on the index, but waiting on the daily candle to close and seeing what comes about for next week are my thoughts on the US dollar index, guys. So that is the US dollar index analysis. So next up, we do have Daniel, and he'll be discussing the wrap up of the signals and how they've gone for this week, and also a crypto analysis on Bitcoin and Ethereum as well. So Daniel, it's all yours, and thanks for your thoughts.
Okay, thank you, Scott. Okay, so while we're looking at crypto right now, a lot of people's mind has been looking at Bitcoin. Is it going to break the 50,000 level? This is a significant resistance level, key level that everybody watch out for. So you can see right now for the past past week, once you reached, every time you got to hit the 50,000, people get excited. Retailers, investors, many even analysts. Every time it touch 50, the news reports comes out. So the question now is, will it beat the 50,000 range? So right now it seems to be unable to break and close above the 50,000. Now we do know it broke above the 45,000. It is hovering there in consolidation. Let me zoom it in. You could see it here that when we see right here, is it going to break? Two times it touched cross, it unable to break. So it's anybody's guess right now. Of course, this is also have somewhat to do, I believe, that people are just going, with the US dollar more or less a bit weakening. They are pushing into the Bitcoin level with COVID as well. Many could be any other reasons, but they couldn't pinpoint exactly which reasons could it be. But nevertheless, it seems that 50,000 range. So again, I would, if anybody is interested to buy the Bitcoin, I would really suggest it wait for it to break above the 50,000, break and close, on a daily chart, break and close above the 50,000 to see finally a confirmation, a confluence that you're going to go break above and continue to move further upwards. And how much upwards it go, I would say, the previous resistance was at 63,000 level. No, so I would say if you go to break above the resistance of 50,000, could go for maybe about this level here, about 58,000 level would be great. Okay, so not right now. I'm going to be a bit bullish right now here to go for a level. For this, let me put this line here right now, maybe just to make it easier for everyone to see. I'm looking at this 58,750 or maybe about 58,000. If it breaks above 50, it will push all the way up. I don't think it's going to move downwards. I think it's going to consolidate within this area of 50,000, 45,000 right now, waiting for the chance to break and close above 50,000 to push towards 58,000 level. Now you can see right now is what's happening to Ether. Now Ether is really very interesting. It didn't really follow and hold, at Bitcoin. It's been pushing up. It was very excited last week. It pushed up above 3,300 level. As once it break down, I was mentioning that it will go towards 4,000 level, 4,150. The next resistance zone. It moves halfway to quite close to 3,778 level right now, and then it just slows down. Now I think Jean has already mentioned. I think yesterday when we talk about crypto, analysis here on Ether, right now Bollinger Band is just the outside Bollinger Band is pushing too far out. There could be some form of a retracement coming back in, but you can see here on the daily chart, as it tries to retrace back in, the strong momentum is still ongoing. The strong push demand for Ether. Ether has started off with lots of applications right now, not only of the NFT. They also, we have seen a lot with NFT mobile. They actually came out with lots of games coming out, applications where people play and earn cryptocurrency coins, and one of them was Ether. So really, the demand seems to be pushing higher. Now, as I mentioned, you possibly be looking at a retracement. Okay, thank you very much, Jordan. Hopefully you don't draw anymore. Now we're looking at retracements level down. As it goes down here, how much low? The question is, everybody mind, retracement, how much retracement could it get? Now, let me go down to a 4-hour chart, and I'll use one of my favorite tools to check for how much retracement could it be. I mean, it's not a science here. I like to use the Fibonacci retracements lines here, and you can see that, I've been noticed that recently, if it's a very strong trend, it usually bounce off at the 23.6 level retracement here, or in the middle of 38.2. So I'm going to watch out for that. Well, I was looking at it, and I think that perhaps it could raise down to 23.6 level, which is quite the level here at this 3,670 zone, 3,600 level around here. Between 23.6 to 38.2 as well. If it goes down any lower down, I would probably be looking at a totally not a retracement, and starts to doubt about the momentum continuing on. Now again, looking at this, you see that the demand, the buyers and the sellers are fighting it right now in a real nice consolidation phase. I'm still looking at a very bullish option that will continue to move up and all the way to 4,000 level. So for Bitcoin, we are going to just be patient, waiting for it to break above the 50,000 before we do anything. For Ether, I would say, right now, I'm still looking at the bullish sentiments. Right now, it's probably be a retracement right now, and continue to push up all the way to 4,000 for the next few weeks. Okay, Scott, all back to you.
All right, thank you for that, Daniel. And again, guys, just a reminder, so these calls are uploaded to the YouTube channel as well, and I'll resend the link out shortly as well, just for that. It's just a handy resource to refer to, especially if you've heard something in the call. Everything is broken down into particular playlists as well, just so you can catch what particular point you're looking for from an education standpoint as well. So definitely really worth checking that out as well. So you've heard the analysis now from Daniel, and just to finish off, we do have Jin, and he'll be offering his insights into the Canadian pairs, as well as an explanation about what the LCMS Traders Club is about as well. Thanks, Jin.
All right, good morning, everyone. So Friday, non-farm Friday. As Kim Hong left, but as Kim Hong was sharing, we do think that this could be a make or break non-farm which actually could mean that we have a lot of trade opportunities, whether it's a counter trend or whether it's a trend following opportunity. At this point, you should be waiting for the news to be released before you decide whether you're going to jump into either trades. But before I get into that, I know most of you, I've seen the numbers jump for this currency call. I think most of you have joined after watching the videos or jumping onto the channel. So if you haven't already, do me a favor, the link is going up. Get onto the channel, on the YouTube channel, where we do upload the whole for the FX Kickstarter, where I used to charge thousands of dollars for this. I have now uploaded a complete course entirely for free. There's nothing you have to pay for that just to watch the videos, right? So it is not just about learning the methods. It's not just about the strategy. It's not just about getting that information. It is all about the support. And what I mean by support is as you join the YouTube channel, you watch through all the videos, you're bound to have questions. You might still have problems finding trades, knowing what to get onto, what trades to, which counter trend trades to do, which trend following trades to do. The next thing you have to do is get onto the Telegram channel, right? Ignore all my other chats there, but the Telegram channel here, we have about 5,581 people on board at this time. So if you're not on already, you are missing out. This is where our signals team is sending you trades over and over on a daily basis, just to tell you what's a good trade to get into, what's a possible market opportunity, take profit levels, entry levels, stop loss levels, take profit levels 1, 2, and 3, telling you exactly what kind of trades we are looking at, what kind of trades we are looking to jump onto. But bear in mind, this is entirely slightly late because on the Telegram channel, we are posting it about 5 minutes later than what our Traders Club members are getting. So Traders Club members, you are all familiar with this already. Again, someone can please help me put up the link for Traders Club. Traders Club members get this customized platform that we have. The signals are all there. This is real time. This is live signals that we send to you, telling you exactly when to jump into a trade. This is not delayed. This is as soon as we see it, we send it out, telling you to buy, to sell, take profit level 1, 2, and 3. Why do I have 1, 2, and 3? It's because there are different levels where different amount of risk you're going to take, different amount of market conditions that you could be holding on to a trade or closing out early. And if you don't know when to hold or to close out a trade, as I've seen some of the chat talk about already, you can look into the signal analysis where we tell you not only what trades to get into, we tell you why we're getting to a trade as well. So you earn and you learn through this platform. We tell you why we're getting into a trade, following the step-by-step process that I'm teaching you on YouTube. And also we tell you exactly when to get out of a trade, secure your profits, or to hold on to it. Hold on for take profit level 1, 2, or 3. It's all there here in the signals and the signal analysis. With that, I can almost guarantee that if you get onto this, you're going to be making money. You're going to be learning how to trade better. You're going to manage your risk. You're going to understand the market a lot better. Why I say you're going to understand the market a lot better is because on the trading floor here, we give you almost that real-time live update of what's happening in the market. What I mean by that is, you know, we've got my channel there. I've just posted up the link. We've got Scott with his market updates, very regular market updates, deciphering all that information, giving you all that good stuff there. And whenever there's a news happening, we tell you the news, we tell you what it could mean, whether this could strengthen the euro, whether this could weaken the euro. The OPEC summary, Kim Hong has been talking about it. It's all being uploaded there as one place to check it out. And we have all our other coaching sessions, which we have talked about a lot before. I won't go into the widgets, which I just shared with you, I think this week, but it's all there. So if you're not already on the Telegram channel, make sure you get on board. If you're not already subscribed to the YouTube channel, make sure you get on board. Those are absolutely free to join. And if you get onto the Traders Club platform here, that is a $49 a month joining fee subscription. But I can guarantee you that this is the place to be if you want to start making good profits on your trades. So enough of that. Let's get into the US. So enough of that. Let's get into the US CAD. What could move prices higher, lower during this non-farm payroll Friday? So coming back to the ForexTradingAsia.com website, we do have the economic calendar here. Before we start looking on the news that is coming up, let's look at what has happened. So on where is it? Let me find it. Okay, on Tuesday here. So Tuesday early this week, we had the Canadian GDP number was minus 0.5%. It was expected to be a 0.7. It came out as expected. GDP was month on month was 0.7%. Canadian GDP year on year went from 0.3. This was during the whole virus situation, lockdowns and all that was happening. Last year was 0.3. Now this year year on year for second quarter is at a 12.72%. So we see a big swing, a big change in terms of GDP number for the Canadian. And quarter on quarter, it just dropped a little bit, went from a 1.4 to a minus 0.3% here for GDP. So with that in mind, what you should gather is that in the general scope of things, the GDP number looks like it's getting better for Canadians, right? It's gone from 0.3 to a 12.72 on a year on year. Month on month, it has improved. Just on the quarter, it's dropped a little bit. With that in mind, what could happen from today onwards, being Friday and non-farm payrolls, is we don't see a lot of Canadian news here. We only have to pay attention to the US unemployment rates, which I've told you about, expecting it to stay at a 5.2%. Non-farm payrolls, as Kim Hong was sharing, and we've been talking about it, we might be looking at this at about a 600, maybe about a 600 number, maybe close to a 750 number. So doesn't look like it's going to be a super number. Bear in mind, it could be a super number. It's almost impossible to predict the non-farm payroll data, but our best guess right now is we're preparing for the bad case scenario where it comes out at, as 600 plus data. And then average hourly earnings month on month looking to go from 0.4 to a 0.3, a slight drop, but I think in this case, it's not going to have too big of an impact on the prices if it comes out at 0.2 or 0.3, unless it comes to a 0.1 or even a negative number, then we're going to see significant moves for the US dollar. So putting all that together, we're looking at some very good GDP numbers for the Canadians. We're looking at not a lot of big changes in the US non-farm payrolls, or maybe even some possibly weaker numbers here. What this all could mean in terms of the USDCAD chart here on the H4 timeframe, the Canadian chart on the H4 timeframe. Last week when I spoke about it, I said it was going to come down, test this 1.2613 level. The good and the bad thing is that it's still, for this whole week, it's been sitting right at this 1.2613 level. It's broken down a little bit. It's broken down a little bit slightly because of OPEC, but you can see that in the scheme of things, it's only about a 50 pip move downwards. So what I could anticipate at this point in time is that we're more likely to see the Canadian sit across or maybe even climb up a little bit, and then towards the non-farm payroll number as it's being released, if we do see a bad news on the US non-farm payroll number, I'm anticipating it to look a bit like that, where it sits across, it probably tests that 1.2613 level before a weaker US dollar could push it downwards towards that 1.2456 support level. So what this means is I could have a lot of other trade opportunities, but on the USCAD, I'm looking at a possible selling opportunity at about 1.2581. Below 1.2581, you could be looking at maybe even a 50 pip stop loss for a very good 100 pip take profit level towards the downside, 1:2 risk reward ratio towards the downside on the USCAD, given that we see that slight weakness in the US dollar. With that said, there are also, as I'm going to scroll through very quickly, there are also a lot of trade opportunities, probably tonight, leading from the non-farm payrolls. One of the ones that I think of following a trend is the New Zealand dollar on the H4 time frame. It's been climbing up. It's broken above the 7073 level. If we see that weaker US dollar, we could see that bounce up. Alternatively, look at the euro US dollar. As we expected, or as we analyzed on Tuesday, we said it was going to possibly climb up towards the 1.1897 level. It's done exactly that. So in this case, just a snapshot view, I'm going to tell you, if we see good news coming from the non-farm payrolls, I think this will be a fantastic place to be selling it down, similar to what happened in 4 weeks ago, where it's reacted to this resistance level and came straight back down. So a lot of other trade opportunities. I'm not going to go through all that. I'll reserve that for the club members. I'll tell you more about what could happen on non-farm payroll. But look at the USCAD. I think that this would be an interesting trade. If you're going to follow that, make sure you do your own risk analysis. Make sure you know what you're doing. And if you're not already on the clubs, make sure you get on board. With that said, Scott, I'll pass it back to you.
All right. Thank you, Jin, for that. And guys, again, in the chat as well, there's also the details of the trade as well presented on the USDCAD as well. But in conclusion, I hope that you've had a great week. And if you've been here every day this week, thank you for joining us. Again, we've got the YouTube channel as well to catch up and to get that revision in of the currency calls if you missed anything. And thanks for joining us again, guys. Again, make sure you check out the Traders Club as well. Have a great weekend, and we'll see everyone next week for the Aussie and Kiwi for Monday. Thanks, guys, for watching.